It was a typical day, but as soon as I walked in the building, I could feel something was different. It was 1998, and I worked at a little company you may have heard of, Halliburton. I wasn't 10 steps through the door before one of my coworkers came up to me and said, "Hey, did you hear? There's layoffs upstairs." Upstairs was code for that place where the admin offices were located. Payroll, accounting, sales, human resources. I was down on the shop floor with the rest of my buddies. I couldn't help but ask, who got let go? My coworker rattled off a list of names, but in a building with over 1,200 people, most of them I knew as an acquaintance at best. And while I felt bad for them, deep down I was relieved that none of my friends were on the list. Because unless it affects me directly, it's not really my problem. As I walked through the factory, everything seemed normal. Forklifts were racing up and down the aisles. Hundreds of people were performing their jobs as they would any other day. But out of all the synchronized chaos around me, something stood out. Walking down the aisle toward me was Wayne Winters, an engineer who had started as a college intern and just celebrated his 40th year of service to the company. I'd known Wayne for years and worked with him on many projects. As we got closer, it became obvious why Wayne stood out to me that day. He was being escorted by security and had a box under one arm with 40 years of his personal belongings. We stopped as we passed. Nothing needed to be said. I extended my hand, shook his, and simply said, "I'm sorry." What the hell can a 20-year-old kid tell a 60-year-old man at a time like that? We have this ideal called the American Dream. It's the ethos of the United States. It's the ideal that every citizen should have an equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through hard work, determination, and initiative. But the world we live in is more complicated than it's ever been. And an ideal like this, while still true, can mean so many different things to different people. Let's face it, this ain't your father's Buick. So what is the American dream today? Well, doesn't it really come down to being able to make choices and live a life on your own terms? To have the ability to be more, have more, do more, to control your destiny. I made a choice to leave the company that gave Wayne his pink slip after 40 years. I left a great job. Everyone told me I was crazy. I didn't have another job. I wasn't a lawyer yet, or even enrolled in law school. But despite all of that, I had the one thing that mattered to me, the ability to control my destiny. Now, I'm not here to advocate that you run out and quit your job today, or ever. That was what worked for me. That was the one thing that I could do in that moment that moved me closer to my version of the American dream. For Wayne, the American dream was having a steady paycheck from a company he believed he would retire from after 45 years. But that dream was snatched from him the day he was escorted out of the building. He wasn't in control, someone else was. Leaving that job was one of the toughest things I've ever done. But nowhere surrounding the ideal of the American dream does it say it's going to be easy. I decided to leave that building. Wayne left because of the decisions of someone else. So ask yourself this: how do you want to leave the building? Which path will you take? And what's that one thing that you can do in this moment that'll move you closer to your American dream?